I'm wondering how everybody feels regarding the sense of community, where you feel that you belong, whether there is a musical community or a kind of, I don't know, a club or a location or a place, or like, I feel like when we were all starting out in this city, in Berlin, there were all these little places, like there was the Poopsie Club, or there was it the Putty Club where we met, the Putty Club? Putty Club, yeah. So yeah, so there's all these places. I'm just wondering if you still feel that there's communities like that, where you feel that like you really fit, where you really belong. And later, I would also like to know what the rest of you feel, but this is to Molly.
That's a beautiful question. Well, I think maybe I do feel like when I moved here and I started making music, that I did feel that there was a community, but didn't necessarily feel like I was a part of it. But I think I was, but I guess I always just thought I was on the outside. But I think today I don't feel the same way, but I think it could also be have to do with my own age. And I think maybe when you're younger, you're looking for a community more. And so when you're starting out, it's more important, and you know, your peers are more important. And then you kind of just like go off in your own direction. Maybe today I have like a community that's sort of spread out all over the world. And it's not necessarily like in Berlin. And maybe my position in Berlin is a little bit weird because I've just been doing things for so long. So I think maybe the community here is like something that belongs to younger people than myself. I mean, no one's younger than me, but let's say. But yeah, that's something I thought about for myself at least. Yeah. I don't know if that's an answer, but okay.
Would you like to add anything?
No.
No? Thank you. Martin, do you feel that there was a community in New York in the 1970s when you were starting out? Were you part of anything at all?
There was, and there wasn't at all. I mean, there was people that liked you, that you had, like any two people, sometimes they have something in common, or they could talk about it. These two wonderful people, I've met them maybe twice before in my life. And as soon as I see them, I feel it's a community. I feel, hey, my people. You know, someone else can be a great musician like them, performer. We have nothing really in common. Are we a community? Yes, in a certain sense, in a peripheral way, because we are all musicians. We all are exposed to the similar kinds of way of life, on stage or recording. But there's no real something camaraderie. And it could be someone who's not a musician or an artist at all. I usually feel most at home personally with other artists. I always have. And other musicians especially, but other visual artists especially also. And not to say a writer cannot be similar to myself, you know, something that happens between two people. And there's the community. Community is always there, ready to be ignited again or not. You know? Punk wasn't a community for me, but there were certain people there that were more conducive, maybe, to the way we both thought, in mutual, you know, a commonality.
Well, I was just thinking that maybe also community is something that you kind of see with hindsight, and that once you're doing something and you're sort of active in something, you don't really see it as being a community. It's just something that's happening. And if you are seeing it as a community, it might be a bit like artificial or a bit constructed, but that like a real sort of organic community is something that you won't really notice until later or when it's gone.